Hi, everybody. I'm Todd McKim, and welcome to Cal Sports Report, the condensed version, as we get you ready for this weekend's game against the Oregon Ducks. Oregon coming in as one of the top, if not the top team in the country, depending on who you talk to, as they defeated USC last week. 62 points they put on the Trojan defense, and that seemed to be kind of a common occurrence for the Oregon Ducks. They're averaging over 50 points a game. Meanwhile, for the Bears, it will be senior night. The Bears will honor their seniors, and also Hall of Fame weekend as well. More on that a little bit later on. We talked to the Cal players, and head coach Jeff Tedford got their thoughts about playing the #2 team in the country.
So I think their team speed really stands out. You know, the running backs and their style of offense is, really efficient and borderline prolific the way they're running it right now, and with the guys and their
main thing is just, of course, try to contain the run the best way as possible. They do the same thing, nothing new. You just have to find the right plan against what they have to do. And
we definitely have to be at our best. Oregon's offense is really explosive, and they score a lot of points. So, and in order to help our defense, we're gonna have to literally be at our best. And we plan on doing that, going down and scoring every chance we get. And everybody knows that, and I think we got a good game plan going into it.
You can kind of tell they like running on the perimeter, so that might be one of the key things they try to do on us as well. So we just have to be ready for everything. Don't really expect that that's the only thing they're going to do. It's just keep your eyes open. You just have to read your keys.
But their defense is excellent. The team speed there that they have, and it's an all-around really good team, really good football team.
So a challenge, to say the least, for the Bears, who will definitely be without their leading receiver, Allan. They might be without their starting quarterback as well, Zach Maynard, as we tape this early in the week. Day-to-day status with an MCL injury to his knee, and that means we might have a new quarterback for the Bears against the Oregon Ducks. A young man by the name of Allan Bridgford came in with high accolades, and he's kind of like the vice president. You're like one heartbeat away from being the guy. We talked to him earlier this week to get his thoughts about possibly starting against Oregon. Allan Bridgford was one of the crown jewels of the Bears' 2009 recruiting class, and why not? He broke most of the Mission Viejo school records set by one Mark Sanchez, who is now the starting quarterback of the New York Jets.
It really sets you up for college, I feel like, because you're used to that big game atmosphere, you're used to a lot of pressure, so it's really not that big of a change, especially with the competition that you play down in Southern California. You have to shift the speed when you get up here, but it's not that big of a difference.
But injuries delayed Bridgford's development at Cal, and he entered this season as the #2 quarterback on the depth chart to Zach Maynard. Lo and behold, though, Maynard violated the team rule, and he didn't start in the opener against Nevada, and thus the 6'3", 220-pounder took the first snap. After a 2-9 start, Bridgford relinquished the reins back to Maynard.
Nevada had a really simple defense. They were just good at what they did, and I saw everything they were doing out there. The incomplete passes I had were nice plays by the defenders. They're all tight throws. I mean, the throws were on spot, but they were tight throws. So that kind of stuff happens. You kind of need an entire game for that kind of stuff to wash away, to get into a rhythm. I mean, I've started games in high school where I started 1 for 10, but then I came out in the second half, went 14 for 15. So you never know. I mean, that kind of stuff happens, but it was a good team we played, and they made some good plays on the ball.
After that, the junior was limited to mop-up duty in 2 games until he was summoned off the bench against Washington with 4 minutes to play, and the Bears down by 8.
You try to stay calm, but you do get an adrenaline rush. But it's a good feeling, and I was semi-warm already, not really though, but I got warm after my first couple throws out there, and you don't really think about all the big picture stuff. You just think about, like, wow, I have a chance to have a game-winning drive here, so you go out there and try to do that, and unfortunately we fell a little short.
With Maynard questionable for Saturday's game against Oregon, this could be an audition of sorts, a chance to work with some very young and talented receivers in game conditions.
Well, I mean, the good thing is they're all pretty similar. They're all very, rangy, athletic, quick, so, throwing to them isn't one another out of all of them isn't that big of a difference. The thing with good receivers is it's easy to get time with those kind of guys. It's the guys that run routes a little funny or something like that that can hurt you. So those receivers have been awesome, and I appreciate everything they've been doing so far. They've been working hard and doing a really good job.
And even though he might face the second-ranked team in the country this week, the confident young gunslinger from Southern California relishes the challenge.
Awesome, can't wait for it. Hopefully I get a chance. If not, I'll be ready to go either way.
Joining us now is volleyball coach Rich Feller as the Bears completed a sweep in the Willamette Valley against Oregon and Oregon State. Congratulations. At the time, Oregon on Friday night was ranked number 2 in the country. Yeah. They ended up also losing to Stanford as well. But you were the first one to knock them off that weekend, so congratulations. And then for your team to compose itself and come back and complete the sweep against Oregon State was just a great weekend.
It really was a great weekend. You know, that Oregon match, we came out on fire, playing great volleyball and got 10 blocks in the first 2 sets. And then slowed down a little bit, got 0 blocks the next 2 sets, and guess what happened? Oregon won both those sets. And then came back in Game 5, and even at the crossover, down 8-5 and down 9-5 eventually, and coming back to win 16-14. Just what a boost for our team. The confidence level and the belief in themselves kind of showed itself finally.
I was going to say, to be in that situation as Oregon comes roaring back, you're on the road. It's a match that you'd love to have because it's a nationally ranked team. What was it that made the difference down the stretch?
You know, it's hard to pinpoint one thing, really. The team stayed together. They never really went away. Even in the matches, in the sets that we lost, it wasn't a glaring disruption of the continuity of the play, but they rallied and they got back together. And, you know, we had Adrienne Guillen out there, first time she's really started for us for a while, and she's just a calming influence with the other seniors. And at the end of the game, it was 13-13 in the 5th, and we had 3 seniors, 2 juniors, and 1 freshman on the court at that time. And it's just like, wow, that's an experienced team out there at 13 all in the 5th. And I think they just played with confidence and felt good about themselves.
Then you travel the day of the game basically up to Corvallis, 40 miles away, because they had a home football game. There's no hotel rooms and the whole bit. And kind of like the Pittsburgh Steelers, traveling on the day of a game ended up being pretty good for you guys.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. You know, odd time, 11 o'clock in the morning, which is our practice hours, but I think both teams were kind of asleep from previous activities. It was not as crisp a match as the Friday night one was, and we came out ahead and won a couple sets and then lost, you know, carelessly a set. But overall, it was, again, a good performance. Our block really came through. Kat Brown and Shannon Hawari had great blocking days. Shannon Hawari had an unbelievable weekend offensively, and we just got a lot of good play from a lot of players.
All right, you've got an unusual week. It seems like you've had a few of these in Pac-12 play because of television. You play midweek. You've got Wednesday and Thursday, Washington on Wednesday, Washington State on Thursday, with very little prep time because you only have Monday and Tuesday to get ready, and you're at this stage of the season where you don't want to practice a lot anyway, right?
Yeah, and you play a Sunday match, fly home, get home about 9 o'clock or so at night Sunday, and you got a Monday morning practice. For us, we just had a really light serve and pass day and a little bit of video. And then on Tuesday, we had another very, very light practice. And Wednesday, Thursday, it's getting ready for 2 matches again. Washington is a great opponent. We expect a lot of good ball control and rallies from them and a lot of offense. Washington State, we took it to them up there, but they're going to be out to get us. So it's a short week, odd week. We'll have a couple days off at the end of the week for once.
You will. You get another weekend, which is very rare here in Pac-12 volleyball. Congratulations on the win, and good luck this week against the Huskies and Cougars.
Thanks so much.
All right, head volleyball coach Rich Feller as the Bears take on the Huskies and the Cougars as the season kind of coming down towards the end. Well, this is the crossover time of the year. Obviously, volleyball. We got football. The NCAA West Regional Cross Country Championships are also this week on Friday. It's Hall of Fame weekend. Among those being honored during the festivities, Lamont Murray. And that brings us to basketball. The women's basketball team has its first counting game this week as they will host Lehigh on Friday night. The men in action for the first official time on Sunday as they take on Cal State Bakersfield. I'm Todd McKim. Thanks for joining us. We'll talk to you next week. For all of us here at the Cal Sports Report, have a good weekend, everybody.